It's time for Sensei Chat. It is 11:33. We're starting a little late today, but it's all good. We actually have Electron Exchange up here. They're going to talk to us about the future of solar in the U.S., and I'm sure they want to take this abroad. Also, I have a lot of crypto alpha we're going to talk about after we get into this, and they do have a special offer for Cryptonairz members. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the problems that they're trying to solve, as well as what they're going to be offering members here inside of Cryptonairz. So without further ado, you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit, maybe who you are and your company, and then I'll get into some questions about the actual project here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having us, Sensei. I really appreciate that.
It's an honor.
So my name is Lani. I am the founder and current CEO of Electron Exchange. And with me, I have CryptoB, who's Blair White. She's my business partner and the co-founder. She's currently responsible for pretty much all financial aspects of the company. Really quick elevator pitch for our business. Basically, what we're trying to accomplish is making clean energy more accessible to everybody.
Okay.
And the way we're going to accomplish that is by using blockchain and allowing people to do peer-to-peer exchange of that clean energy. So if you have a solar on your roof, you can now sell your electricity to somebody else that wants to buy it for that clean energy part of it. So essentially just tokenizing clean energy and making it available and accessible to anybody that wants to get into it.
I know the government, the U.S. government and governments all around the world are really kind of trying to kick this clean energy, solar, wind into high gear. And it sounds like you're trying to solve, the current issue with energy feels like is you get set pricing and you get spikes in your electric bill depending on how much electricity is being used, in the city, and things are a little bit crazy. Can you talk to us about how you're trying to solve that and what are like the benefits that you guys are going to put forward and why people are going to want to use you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So good thing you brought up the government thing. I mean, a lot of things are changing with that 2035 and that 2040 mark, right?
Yeah.
Just in the U.S., but some of the countries are actually ahead of the U.S. So we're gradually getting there on a global scale. But essentially what we're trying to negate is the fossil fuel burning, right? And a couple of different ways that you could do that is one with solar, one with wind. You can do it with the hydros. But the main concern with solar right now is the eligibility for a roof, right? If you're renting a house, you don't have that access to it. If your roof is multi-steps and has like a different type of material on it, you're not eligible for solar. So what we're trying to do is bridge that gap. So the people that want solar, that want clean energy, they will now have the access to buy it from somebody that has extra electricity on it. So one thing that we brought up, I think in the last AMA that we did on YouTube, so let's say if I have a summer home and that has solar on it, when I'm not at the house, all that solar electricity is being sent back to the grid. With Electron Exchange and our blockchain, somebody else will have the ability to buy that extra electricity and use it in their house. So that's basically the thing that we're trying to accomplish with our project.
And I guess when you sell it back to the energy company, they're paying bottom dollar, right? And I think what you guys are trying to do is say, hey, instead of you selling your energy back for 10 cents on the kilowatt, I'm not an energy expert, so maybe I'm getting that wrong, but you're going to be able to maybe set a higher price. Walk us through, what the benefits are going to be. You talked to us about maybe having a summer home, but what other benefits will you guys be solving with this, solar technology blockchain solution?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the biggest challenges with anybody that has solar right now is they have two options. Option one is to spend tens of thousands of dollars and get like a Tesla Powerwall or two to store their own electricity, right? And even then, you'll still have some electricity that's going to go back to the grid. And then option two is just selling extra electricity back to the grid. The problem with that is you're paying for, we'll use LA as an example. That's where both me and Blair reside. So in LA County, the average electricity rate for when you're buying it from your utility company is around 45 cents per kilowatt hour.
Wow.
But when you have extra electricity from your solar generation, you want to sell back to the grid, they give you sub wholesale rate. So that ranges depending on the time of the day and also the season. It ranges anywhere from as little as 2 cents per kilowatt hour all the way up to 12 cents. So 12 cents is going to be when you're having a good time. So you're making money at 12 cents, but that's like the high end, right? The reason for that is on the utility company side of it, things are not as predictable as they were back in like the 60s and the 70s, right? Right now, they need to figure out like how to manage enough electricity to support every house in LA and not have excess burn off, right? So the way they do that is by basically just saying, okay, if you're going to give us solar, we're just going to give you bottom dollar for it because we don't need it when you guys give it back to us. So the idea behind that is to force more people into buying batteries for their system, right? But this would be electron exchange would be the other avenue for them. So when you have the extra electricity, you would send it to your blockchain and tokenize that electricity. Now, on the other end of it, Blair, who is a few miles from me, she can buy that extra electricity from me at whatever price the market is setting at. So there's not a middleman saying like, oh, you're only going to get 10 cents or 12 cents or whatever. Blair and I decide what price we're going to exchange that electricity for. So that market rate becomes more consistent and more profitable for people that currently have solar. So instead of getting the 10 to 12 cents, you might get 30, 40 cents for it. And the reason why Blair is going to pay 30 or 40 cents is because she might be a business owner that's going to get write-off for buying clean energy. She might also be conscious for the environment. So she wants to reduce her footprint and she wants to spend a little more. But really, ideally, you're going to be spending 45 cents on electricity anyways in LA. You can buy clean energy from me, or you can buy coal energy from your utility provider for the 30 or 45 cents anyways. So we're just basically introducing a little bit of competition and a little bit more avenues for the solar homeowner to be able to sell their extra electricity.
Well, so, when you say a little competition, I know that big business, especially big energy, right, where there's really no competition for them other than, hey, Tesla or PG&E in California, right? So what are the conversations like? Because are you disrupting that industry? Are they going to allow you to disrupt the energy, or is it more of, hey, we're actually giving homeowners a choice here, and the power company's kind of SOL because the person, instead of selling it back at super under wholesale, they can actually get a decent return on their extra power?
Yeah, so we've been doing research on this project for almost about a year now, I believe, maybe just under that. And that was one of the earlier problems that we solved within the first maybe month and a half or 2 months. And the way it's going to work on the back end, I can't really go into too much technical details on it. But basically what's going to happen is the electricity company is going to continue to do what they do now. Nothing changes for them. What we're going to do is we're going to introduce what's called basically a strategic partnership with them. So on our back end, how our network is going to work, we're going to have NFTs that are going to be linked to validator nodes. Validator nodes are going to be the one that are basically validating all the transactions that are happening on our network. Part of the system is how it's going to work is, again, going back to an early example, if Blair wants to sell some electricity, she's going to tokenize that extra electricity onto our network. For that, Blair is going to pay a fee of 15 to 20 cents. So that's one transaction. Then I can go onto the network and buy the electricity from Blair, and I'm going to pay a transaction fee of 15 to 20 cents. So those fees are going to be collected from every single transaction, right? Those fees then get pooled into a large pile. 80% of all those fees go to those validator node holders. The other 20% go to the foundation for upkeep, maintenance, salaries, and stuff like that, right? So each NFT is going to be collecting payments. So that's another way you can participate in our network. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be strategically offering some of those nodes to those utility companies, to some of the big names, big players, to give us access to this big, giant opportunity for us, right? So it's going to play a part for the electricity company. They don't do anything different than what they're doing today, but they get X amount of nodes from us for free, and that's going to generate revenue for them as another line item. And in turn, really what we're getting from them is their customer base and access to their network, to their grid. And we're giving them free money essentially on the other side of it.
Got it. And I think you did answer Viking Steve's comment there in the chat, kind of how is the power company involved here. I want to ask you a few more questions. We did a great AMA, and I'm going to show everybody the AMA. We actually have 4,600 views, so there's definitely people that are interested in what you're doing. My question is, just with every single blockchain project and new technology, is how are you guys going to onboard customers, right? Because it sounds like, these NFTs, these validator nodes that represent validator nodes that you will be able to run and make fees, but you need to get people into the system. So how are you guys planning to get people into your system? Is it just, showing up at Costco and waving flyers, or, what is the actual plan there? Do you, have you guys figured that all out yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about that one briefly during our YouTube AMA as well. But the plan is there's going to be two different ways to attack that, right? So the investor sides of it, the crypto community is very smart. They can do their own digging and figure it out. So that side is going to look a little bit different from the beginning. Towards the end, the goal is to have everybody on the Electron app.
Got it.
But in the beginning, for the NFT sales, you're gonna have to buy them through AVAX chain. We're going to later convert them over to our own blockchain, but right now they're going to be just sold through AVAX. Eventually, what our big goal is to have the Electron app be super, super simple. When you first log into the Electron app, it's going to have you log into your utility company application. You're also going to log into your solar company application as well. So once all of those are combined together, then it's going to ask you what you want to do. It's going to have an automated setting. It's going to have a time of day setting, or you can basically have it completely manual. So those options are going to be, so even a 70, 75-year-old person can just log into the app. Really all they need is just their login information from utility company and their solar provider. Once all of that is done, if they choose the automated setting, every time they have excess electricity, it's going to be digitized or tokenized, and it's going to basically be available to sell to whoever. Once the electricity is sold, they'll have money, like they'll actually have US dollars on that app that can transfer back to the US bank if they wanted to. So it's going to be very seamless from that standpoint. However, there are going to be some advanced functionality for the Cryptonairz that we have here. We're going to have some more so you can have it manually. You can say, okay, I want to save all of my kilowatt hour coins, and I want to sell them during peak time when the electricity is a little bit more expensive. So that's going to have that's going to open up the market for energy traders, essentially. If you want to sit there and day trade energy, you can do that. So that's going to have the availability on that part of it as well, just to have more liquidity in the system.
It sounds like you guys are creating a new market here, which is really interesting. Blair, did you have something that you want to add there?
Yes, Crypto. Were you asking how we're going to bring people to our ecosystem?
Absolutely.
Right.
That's very important.
So how we're going to go about that is right now the solar industry is really hurting. There was definitely a lack of transparency previously between the solar companies and the solar home owners. We're integrating the blockchain to bring that transparency to light so everybody, can see what's on one end to the other. And so when it comes to the solar companies, essentially by partnering with the solar companies, that's going to give us access to onboarding users into our ecosystem and help boost their business again as well, since the industry is hurting. So, I mean, it's kind of a two-way street there. It
sounds like everyone's maybe going to win here. The power company is going to get their share, and homeowners can actually make a return on their energy for once in a lifetime, which is really great. We did have some questions from the audience asking about, is there a certain amount of NFTs per area, or is it just, hey, everybody, doesn't matter where you live, where you are in the world, everyone is going to share in the money that is created on this new solar electron blockchain? Is that going to be grouped and shared, or are you guys going to limit NFTs per area?
So the NFTs are going to be limited not for the area reason, but for monopolizing reasons. We don't want a single company to come in and just swoop up all the NFTs and say, okay, we're going to make all the government decisions for it.
Yeah.
So there is a limit. So there is a 3,500 NFT limit. That's going to be the hard cap.
That's
anything
still
beyond that. Yeah. Well, there's going to be a total of 25,000, right?
Okay.
By our earlier calculations, we think we're going to be able to handle about 100 million transactions per day with those 25,000 nodes. And again, that's on the high end if you ever
Yeah.
get to that point. But we think 25,000 is going to be plenty. And because of that 25,000 mark, 3,500 is the high end. We don't want anybody to have more than a certain percentage of controlling governance tokens. For individuals, I don't think there is a reason for a cap on it because you can just create a new wallet. But for entities, they are going to go through something like a KYS type of or KYC type of
KYC.
event.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to tell us, like, okay, who you are and how many do you have and what kind of voting you're looking to do for that one.
So talk to me about, the US is moving forward, it looks like, very slowly with regulation. They passed the Fit 21 Act in the House. It now goes to the Senate, and if the Senate approves it, it'll go to the president's desk. Is the lack of crypto regulation affecting the conversations that you are having with these power companies or these companies that want to get involved with what you're building?
Absolutely not. So pretty much all the conversations that we've had, so we've been busy for the past maybe 90 to 120 days talking to different venture capitalist firms, talking to government people that can issue us grants for building it. And really not once have we had to defend crypto.
That's
I
great.
think we're getting to the point where crypto is getting streamlined. When I say that, it's becoming like more household, so people understand what it's about and what the challenges are on it. Because our application is utility based, we're going to be able to curb a lot of those challenges that some of the other crypto firms face. Utility based tokens, utility based network are treated a little bit differently in the US when it comes to regulations. And again, the problem that we're trying to solve, which is why we've been uh, greenlit for so many different grants, is that the problem that we're solving is much bigger than fighting over crypto.
I love that. And Zelfernide, great question. Will the future app be able to automatically take care of state and federal taxes that are involved in making this money? Because I'd imagine if somebody's making an extra $500 or $1,000 a year, there's going to be taxes that are involved in that. And we know that a lot of crypto people are kind of, hey, what the government doesn't know won't hurt me. So what are you guys doing, or what has the thought process been on the app, automatically taking out these different state taxes and federal taxes? That way, at the end of the year, the homeowner doesn't have this huge tax bill.
Yeah, so our earlier concept design for the app does include a tax withdrawal, kind of similar to if you have like a 401k. You can say, okay, I want to deduct 10% for federal deduction and X amount for state. You'll be able to do something similar to that. You will receive a 1099 or 1095,
Yeah.
based on how much you got back from it. And I believe the cap for putting it on your taxes is around 500, if I'm not mistaken. But that anything above 500, so if you made 501, you will have to report that to your taxes, and Electron app will be able to provide you the tax document for that.
You know what would be really insane too is if like, let's say I have a ton of extra power and I'm making, 50, $60 a month, whatever it is. Obviously we don't have, exact figures on what it'll be, and it'll all be situational depending on how much power that the house is using, the solar is using. But can, like, let's say I make, $100 a month, and can I take that money and maybe put it into crypto or an ETF through your app? Because I think that would be truly insane that people could start saving that money and putting it right into crypto assets automatically on the platform. I know that's probably, maybe you haven't thought of, or maybe it's down the line, but I thought that would be really interesting.
Yeah, that would be really cool. How My only concern would be the security aspect of it,
True.
because you are linking three very, very, very secure applications to it, like especially with your bank application on it,
Hmm.
and your utility company and your solar equipment on there. I mean, it would be cool, but I don't have the answer to that yet.
All good.
If that's going to be something.
All good.
Man.
So it sounds like people in the app will be logging into their secure portals with their respected energy company and their bank account. It's not, you guys are not going to be collecting and housing that secure data on the blockchain, right? That's just going to be strictly per customer logging into that thing through the app.
Yeah, so I forgot what the terminology is actually called, but you actually log into it as like a token login. And once you log in, what it's doing is basically just verifying what you're tokenizing, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So your solar company says you produce, let's say, 50 kilowatt hours of electricity. Your electricity company says you use 25 of those already, but the other 25 can be tokenized. So that's really what the app is going to be doing, is going to be minting those 25 tokens to be able to put on our blockchain. Now, once the minting is complete, the app doesn't need to be logged in with your credentials anymore.
Okay.
The other side of that, so let's say if a person buys your 25 tokens, those tokens are now burnt because there's no need for the extra tokens anymore. But once those tokens are transferred, the transaction is complete. Those tokens basically disappear off the blockchain. The other person, everything gets converted to a stable coin, whether it's USDT or Ripples or whatever. It's going to be converted into a stable coin to be used on the app itself. That can be withdrawn just like Coinbase directly to your bank account. So.
Oh, okay. You mentioned XRP there, man after my own heart. I'm definitely an XRP advocate and the technology that Ripple is building, the banking software. We'll ask maybe one or two questions, then we'll get into the offer of what you guys are offering the community. I wanted to ask, and I know Blair probably has the answer to this question, but talk to us a little bit about the grants, maybe any information that you can share about the grants that you're getting, the dollar values, why you think that you, out of all people, are getting these grants, because I know millions of people apply for government grants or state grants, and a lot of people get denied. But it sounds like you guys have had some success in this area. Did you want to talk about that? I know we talked about in the AMA, but did you want to talk briefly about it here?
Yeah, I can kind of kick it off, and I'll have Blair kind of fill it in. So more importantly than the grants is how they can be utilized. So I don't know if anybody here has done grant writing before, but they're very specific. So we've gotten 3 grants so far, and none of them can be used for asset purchase. They can only be used for salaries. They can only be used for like very specific ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can't create anything using that money. So what we had to do was, even for like some of our marketing stuff out there, we had to, even for the research company that we hired, we had to basically pay ourselves a salary and then pay out of our pocket as a non-refundable item, basically. So they're very tricky.
Yeah.
The reason that they're set up that way is because a lot of these are government grants, right? So their idea is to create more jobs. And how are they going to create jobs is to be able to provide salaries, right? So that's kind of their goal behind it, which is why we can't use them for like direct purchases. We can't go out there and buy a computer with them. So we have to kind of be very, very, very efficient with our money, which is why the NFT sales are going to be really good, because that allows us to do whatever we want, whatever we need at the point, and not have to be tied down with the certain restrictions on it. With the VCs, what we've done is basically our game plan, our pitch deck, our crafting of what we want to accomplish is so unique and so different than anybody else out there. Because even if you look at the crypto market or crypto space in general right now, there's very small amount of actual utility, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them are mainly just pump and dump schemes that are just trying to get a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there, and they fly away. The project never really sees the surface, right? So utility becomes really, really important. So our selling point for really everybody out there that we've spoken to is really the utility that we're bringing in with this market and the transparency that's going to introduce at the same time. So right now we are in phase 1 of one of the biggest grants that we're looking for, which is through the National Science Foundation. And they do their grants every quarter. They have a 96% rejection rate. So we're glad that we're in that 4% that actually survived that.
Wow.
And at first, about maybe 30, 45 days ago, we were getting rejected left and right from a lot of different like grants out there. But once we started to figure out like which ones we actually need to be approaching, like the ones that are actually in our niche, we're getting approved by people that have denied really everybody else out there. One of the ones that I wanted to share before Blair gets in is Microsoft startups as their own like little funding kind of like a sequence, right? So they denied us the first application that we put in there, but once we figured out like how we need to approach that, they approved us right away and gave us the about $40,000 in credits.
Wow.
And again, the reason I'm prepping all this up is because Blair has been instrumental for that one. Like she's been phenomenal, and she's the one that's taking care of most of that stuff for it. So if you want to jump in, Blair, and talk more about it.
Absolutely. I mean, Hassan said it perfectly. Essentially, where we've been finding success is applying for grants within our niche because there are those initiatives set out for 2035, right? Applying within the solar and energy sectors, we've definitely it's been more welcome there, and they're excited to hear about the projects and move those pieces along because having the innovative approach and incorporating blockchain and incorporating the future to hit those different objectives is the only way that we're going to get there. It's been, pretty stagnant up until this point, and that's why those different markers haven't been hit. So I feel like those within the industry have been extremely receptive in taking a new approach to those pain points.
Love that. It sounds like you are the grant whisperer, Blair, and probably you wouldn't be as far without all of that hard work. So congratulations on that. Let's do this. We have the AMA. There's a lot of really good questions I asked in the AMA. JP did post that. You guys have a Discord community. You guys have it's been growing pretty rapidly. I know there's some of our community it's in there. Why don't you tell us about what actually you are offering and when people can participate and what's going on with that?
Absolutely. So, I mean, one of the main points of today is the NFT sale. As Hassan mentioned before, when it comes to the grants, there's very specific ways in which we're able to leverage and utilize those funds. And so, today we're having the NFT sale. We're having a special offering. I'll let you go ahead and kick that off, Crypto Sensei, for our NFTs. The NFTs are going to be paired on a 1-to-1 ratio with the nodes so that you all are able to take part in our ecosystem and benefit from those transactions happening and allow us to further decentralize our ecosystem.
Great. And right now the offer is, I think you guys are offering NFTs currently at, was it $1,000 an NFT? And later on they're going to go up to, I think you said 2,500. If I'm wrong there, you can correct me.
Only here in Cryptonairz can you get the NFT for $1,000. Right now, the current market value is 2,500, but it's a Cryptonairz exclusive. That's why we were so excited to have the AMA with you all today to be able to provide that exclusive offering.
I love that. And so I know there's going to be people in the community that watch the recording this, or there's going to be people that are not Cryptonairz members that are going to listen to this that might want this opportunity. So if you're not currently a member, you can go ahead and sign up on our WAP and get access to this. How long are you going to be offering this to our community for? Is this, I know people kind of stress out about the time. So do we have a week? Do we have a month? Is it a few days? Obviously, can you tell us about the timeline of how long we'll have?
The next 10 minutes. I believe we did a 2-week block off. So
okay.
If I remember correctly, it was the Friday that we're gonna stop. It is the Friday the 28th.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more than 2 weeks. However, there's certain thresholds, right? So if we get to that threshold before, we're going to have to stop that earlier as well. It's not that we don't want extra money. It's just that we want to create a viable resource for us,
sure,
but not get too much into it. So.
Great. And I know JP has all the details. We're going to be posting that all over the community in announcements. I'll have it in Alpha Sensei too. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say in closing? What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show everyone kind of your website. I'll also show the AMA on YouTube. I know JP posted the link, but is there anything that you wanted to say in closing before we ended here with this interview?
Yeah, I think I'll let Blair kind of talk about it, but I wanted to talk about like what the benefits are of the NFTs because I don't think we touched on it this time. I know it's in your YouTube AMA, but I just wanted to kind of let people know what they're getting into essentially. Blair, do you want to kick that off?
I guess I'll kick it off by saying this. You're not waiting for the tokens. The NFT is the drop. That's how you're going to be able to participate in the ecosystem. So it's not the token you're looking for, it's the NFT because that's going to have that one-on-one pairing with the node. So I'll let Hassan go ahead and break it down, all the benefits that you're going to get with that. But I just wanted to point that part out.
Thanks.
Thank
Blair.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, so how on the back end, how it's going to work is basically every NFT is going to have a purpose, right? One of the purposes is to allow you to have that node configured with it. And the other purpose is going to be governance, right? So NFT is going to play a huge role for our blockchain in the future. Any governance comes up, NFTs is how you're going to be voting your part of it, right? The second part is when the validator nodes are live, those are going to be those are going to be validating all the transactions that are happening on the network. And all of that fees, all of that funding is going to go right back into your wallet. So when we did our first research part of it, now, again, this is going to be based on 2023 numbers. So if you get all those 5.3 million people that currently have solar, if they go onto our network within the first year, the NFTs should generate roughly about $12,500. Now, that's each NFT. So if you have two of them, you're getting about $25,000 per year. Now, as the ecosystem grows, as we get more people onto our network, and we have more solar homes growing as well, the fees are going to be higher and higher, right? So the second year you might make double that amount. The furthest point that we've talked about so far is when we have the ecosystem and the protocol is fully live and fully automated, or as much automation that we could possibly handle on it. We're going to change the split system to 95 and 5%. So that means that 95% of the fees collected on the network are going to go to the node owners, and the other 5% are going to go to the foundation. And the reason that 5% is still there is because we're still going to pay some salaries for some of the network engineers or somebody out there to make sure there's no hiccups or anything like that on it. So yeah, again, the idea of getting it in sooner, you'll have a little bit longer waiting period to cash in your rewards, but you're getting it 2.5 times cheaper than anybody else can afford it at that point.
And
now,
yeah, sorry, keep going. I did have a question.
The final point I want to make on the NFTs is once we clear the stage of our funding, the NFTs are going to go off of our sale page. We're not going to be selling them anymore, and we're going to be auctioning them off for whatever price they go on to. The reason we want to do that is because our business principle is to both delight our customers and delight our shareholders. If you guys are holding NFTs, let's say a year and a half from now or 2 years from now, you want to make sure that your net asset value has grown and is still producing money as well on top of that. So those are our two basic things that we want to do in the future. So again, it may not be like a year from now, but it might be 2 years. But eventually, we're going to take the NFTs completely off the marketplace from our site. They can't buy it from us anymore. They'll have to buy it from you guys if you have extra one to sell. And you get to make the price at that point.
Great, that's awesome. And I know it sounds like you guys are building all this. If somebody bought an NFT today, are they starting to collect rewards? Obviously, if the network's not up, you can't really get fees yet. But I know that's probably going to be a question that people ask. When will they start being able to make rewards?
Yeah, so with all the grants that we've gotten over the past 3 weeks, we're on a timeline of about 8 months or so.
Okay.
Depending on how much we can raise with the blockchain or with an NFT sale, that progress can also be accelerated with that as well. If you're allowed to buy more assets quicker, it can reduce that timeline as well. But the benefit of getting in early again is you're getting it at a huge discount. Once we're getting close to the launch, those prices are going to be way higher than what you're able to get now.
Fantastic. Well, guys, I really appreciate your time. Thank you for talking about the future of solar and blockchain. It's really interesting technology. I haven't heard of anybody trying to do this. So, kudos to you guys for trying to tackle this big problem of, people not getting their true value of their energy. I really appreciate it. We'll have all the links, all of the information that you guys need to know posted in announcements in Ultra Bowl. So thank you again for spending this time with us and educating us on what you guys are building.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
All right. Aloha.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Blair. All right, guys. All right. Let's get into some crypto alpha. JP's on it. He's got all the information there. That's really great. I'm going to move you down here. Let's see. Hold on. Move to. There we go. All right. Let's get into some crypto information and news. Okay. So, what's been going on in the crypto market? We're going to talk about it. Let's go ahead and get engaged here with what is going on with projects. So, this thing took a dive. But if you were paying attention in the DGen chat, I posted this at 4.6 million. This thing had a high of $31. You got in at about $4.60. Over the last 10 days, I have made about $15,000 on this. And so I just want to, tell people, if you're not paying attention in DGen chat, you're missing some alpha. What I'm in all of these extra alpha groups. People are dropping just bits of information. I am picking up those bits of information and I am posting all of the stuff that I am getting from these KOLs, these different influencers. So please, here is the screenshot of my post 6/1. Okay. On 6/1, this was 4.6 million. All right. $5.21. This thing went up to almost $32. So just in the past 10 days, this has gone up 600%. Big shout out to everybody that took this ride with me. I have been taking profit along the way. I'll be honest, I sold a little bit too early on some of my bags, but hey, what are you going to do? I'm here to make profit. I don't know what's going to happen with some of these tokens. So I can't beat myself up too much, but I've been taking, 20%. I did take some profit yesterday too. And I just have a smaller bag left that I'll probably just leave on the side to see how far this goes. Also, all joking aside, I saw Jenner. All right, so there's been multiple kind of copycats or early editions of the Jenner token on Solana and some other things. Those are not the actual Jenner token. Now, the reason I like this meme coin play is because it's actually coming from a celebrity, and I don't know what your politics are or what you think about this. I really don't care. I'm here to make money in the crypto space. This was actually put out by Caitlyn Jenner. I think is it Caitlyn Jenner? Yeah, Caitlyn Jenner, 3.3 million followers. So Caitlyn Jenner has the money to market this project, has connections to get money and people into this project. I had originally posted this at 2.1 million. All right. This is something that I actually put a decent amount of money into. When I say a decent amount of money, I put about 25 grand into this, between $2 and $3 million. I originally posted it in Cryptonairz at 2.1 million. So just in the past, maybe 2 weeks, this has gone up 200%. All right. I have a hefty bag. I've got about almost 9 million tokens. Currently it's about maybe 50 grand worth. I am holding on to this. I think this is going to go. It's on Ethereum. There's all that liquidity. And I just think people should be paying attention to this. So I'm taking this ride. I don't know if you joined this, but I know there were some people talking about I'm in the Solana version. Just to let you know that Caitlyn Jenner has posted about the Solana version that it's not the legitimate token. It's only on Ethereum, only my only official meme coin is on Ethereum. So I just want to get that point out. What Caitlyn Jenner is trying to do here is they're trying to get to $50 million in market cap. If they do that, they are going to donate to Trump's legal bills or tax bills or whatever it is, right? So my thought process was maybe MAGA is going to get involved in this. And that's millions and millions of people in the United States. And I know there's a big fans of MAGA globally. So, if you know about, my politics, I'm kind of, anyways, I'm not going to get into that, but I'm here to make money, and I thought this was an opportunity to make money. So I just want to let you know that I am still holding on to my entire bag. I haven't taken profit on this one. I think it's going to go. I wanted to play this. Part of you guys being here is to get an education. And I actually learned a few things here, and I'm hoping that this 60 seconds is going to help you better understand what is a scam and what isn't a scam. I posted this in the DGen channel because this is really to do with new token launches and paying attention to this. Look at this video. This 60 seconds will change your life. It'll change the way that you research, and I hope this actually helps you. So let me play this.
So let's look at this proof of Dogecoin, and I'm going to show you why it's a rug very quickly. So the first thing we're going to do, let's go to the deployer, check where the funding comes from. Funding comes from here, 50eth, draw back one hop, Binance. Okay, so that doesn't help us. But what does help us is let's look at these first buyers. Let's take a look at this guy. Gets 0.3. Where does his money come from? Okay, he has no money coming in, right? Regular transactions, you don't see it, so it's internal. It's through a contract. Go here. Comes in through here, okay. Let's take a look. Sends it to a bunch of different wallets, so it seems like he's going to keep buying the coin. Where does it come from, though? It comes from here. Let's go back again. Okay, this, again, ton of wallet. Who cares? Go to incoming transactions, all the way to the beginning. All the way to the beginning. 76F. Go in. What's this wallet? Let's check. Boom. Rugger. Rug SoFi cat. So there you go.
So, I mean, just that 60 seconds really kind of showed you the path to check and see if it's a scammer. Hey, thank you for being here, Hassan. I really appreciate you breaking down solar and blockchain. I think it's really incredible. It's really interesting, and I wish you guys all the success in the world. I really do. Also, I got into this position at about like 1.8 million. I'm a little down. I bought this yesterday. The great lady trader sent this to me, and you know what? I've actually stopped asking too many questions when she sends me stuff, because she's been in the crypto space a lot longer. And I often talk about this. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you are in the crypto space. If you don't do that, you're never going to learn. I consider Lady Trader much smarter than I am in crypto. I've been in crypto 4 years, but she's been in crypto a lot longer. I think she's been in crypto like 10 years. So she sent me this. This is, I guess, a new Japanese dog, meme, what is it? A narrative, I guess, that is forming. And this is one of the tokens that she highlighted. So I'm going to hold on to this bag. I put in about $4,000. We'll see how that rolls. And I posted this in the DGen channel if you are interested. Also, I was in a great space yesterday with this. As a symmetry, excuse me. Anyways, they are having an IDO sale. The reason this stood out to me, they're doing liquid staking, high supercharged pioneers of high yield LSTs and synthetic dollars. They actually did a great space with Wolf, and they're doing a bunch of spaces. But the reason I want to point this out is their IDO is happening tomorrow and the 13th. It has a 50% TGE. Yes, 50% TGE, and I think it's 12 months linear unlock for the tokens. I think this is an opportunity. I want to just put it in front of you. I'm going to post the link down in the description if you want to participate. With this ETH ETF being approved, there's going to be a lot more money coming into the Ethereum ecosystem, and you definitely want to be taking advantage of this. I recommend that you go listen to one of these spaces. There's somebody named Hannah that is just, she's incredibly talented. She knows exactly what she's talking about. They have some of the highest yields for liquid staking, and this is something I think you should be paying attention to. So definitely want to pay attention. June 12th and 13th, link down in the description. Here is their link tree. I'm just going to post it, and we are going to move on. All right. I got their white paper here too. So let me, I'll read you the quick deets here. What is asymmetry? Asymmetry finance is the ultimate staking and synthetic dollar protocol, pioneering solutions that achieve the highest sustainable yield in their respective markets. You can see asymmetry product overview. They have an AFCVX. They have AFETH, USD, and AFE ETH. So the yield on some of these is actually very high, and I do think that you're going to get a lot. The FDV on this was a little high at 60 million, but I don't really know too much about liquid staking. I don't do it personally, but if you are in the liquid staking game and you want some more information, please take a look at this. I think it could be important. Also, we have a new Discord bot in the community. It's called Rick, and you can actually ask Rick all of these different commands on tokens, and Rick will get you the information. So there's all these different commands that you can use to better help your knowledge. It uses AI. Definitely take a look at this. Start using this in the community. You can get information, short token info, create a token filter. You can do all kinds of really cool things. Show by market cap, a lot of different features that you can use here. And there's some general commands, just a lot of really cool things. And I'll be using this on a daily basis inside of the community. All right, so I do want to talk about Anthony Popliano. He is a huge figure in the crypto space, and he just gave an interview, and he basically said that he sold all of his Ethereum for Solana. Now, if you were inside of the Cryptonairz Discord back in, I think it was October or November, I think it was like JP. I think JP was talking about Solana back then, and I was talking about it in Sensei Chats. Solana was at like $15. Popliano, listen to what he said here.
I had some Ethereum. That's where I started my kind of crypto journey, mining Ethereum back in 2016. But I sold that, I think, end of last year, beginning of this year, whatever it was, and bought Solana instead. And it was very much a decision like, I think that Solana is going to outperform Ethereum moving forward. I want to, make this change in my personal portfolio. So
this guy's going to be a multi-billionaire if he's not already. When we were talking about in Sensei Chat back then, I personally said I think Solana can go to $600 or $700 in this current cycle. I stand behind what I said back then. But can you imagine where Solana is going to be in 5 years from now? I think it'll be in the thousands, definitely. So, be paying attention to what's happening in Solana. I know there's a lot of congestion and transactions don't work. Actually, my bonk bot on Solana cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. Real quickly, if you remember the token Let's Fucking Go that I was live streaming and I was trying to buy that token with all of my might at 200K market cap. I was posting frantically in DGen chat, letting you know that I was trying to buy this token. I had to go into Sensei Chat and I was literally trying to buy the token in Sensei Chat. It's the first time I've ever tried to do that. This token hit $30 million in market cap from 200K. That is 150x in 2 months. And I think I was trying to buy about three or four grand worth at a time, and it failed. And I was a little sad about it. By the time I was done live streaming, it was already at $2 million market cap. And so I'm a little sad about it, but this just goes to show you the value that you can get inside of these free chats is insane. And if you are not paying attention inside of Cryptonairz, especially in the DGen chat, because right now the crypto market's been trading sideways. We had Bitcoin drop to like 60K. It's since come up. Let's just take a look at the market right quick. I mean, it's kind of red, right? And I've been noticing that DGen, meme coin, community coins are still popping off like insane. And so I think people are playing the lottery ticket game here. And, there are people making a lot of money. And I want to make some money with this market that's kind of down right now. So even in the top 10, you can see all red. Just kind of circling back here. Let's see on the top 100, only Injective is up 10%. The rest of this, Oasis is up 4%, 5%, Tron's up 2%, and everything else is in the red. So if your crypto bags are hurting today, I totally get it. I understand, but we need to zoom out. If you missed the live chat I did on last Friday. I had like Lady Trader, I had Poppy, I had the CEO of Neo Launch, I had Nix, Kayla. We all were talking about where we think the crypto market is going to go, narratives that we're bullish on. Go back and watch that chat. I got so much value. I learned so much just from hearing other people's perspectives on the market that do crypto full time. That was a very eye-opening chat. I think you should go back and watch that if you haven't seen it yet. Let me just refresh this. As you know, I build chats over a few days, and Twitter every 24 hours likes when you have to refresh. So give me 1 second here. Let's just refresh these little tiles. BioFi. Not much I can say live on air, but they just spent a ton of time in South Africa. There's a new government coming in, and BioFi is working with a lot of people in this new government. They're working on all kinds of things in the background. I am still holding my full BioFi bag, and I just think if one or two of these partnerships are signed that they are working on, you're not going to be able to hold on tight enough. It really is. If they can get the one partnership that I can't say anything about it yet, it's going to be lights out for this token. It's going to be lights out. It's just going to be a hell of a ride. So, the crypto market, when it's down 20, 30, 40%, I consider those buying opportunities if you're playing the long game in crypto. If you're here to day trade, it's a little rough right now. Obviously, you can try to buy stuff when it's down 20% and try to get the upswing. But Twitter, come on. But just understand that over the next 12 months, we are really going to see a breakthrough in the crypto market. Real world assets is a narrative that we talk about a lot in this community. Real world tokens that are listed on Binance. Now, Binance has 170 million customers globally. Okay. Because people have access to Binance, they can buy these tokens. A lot of people actually lose money in crypto. The reason is they often wait for things to get listed on a Binance or an exchange. They don't really buy it on a DEX like Trader Joe's, Uniswap. There's hundreds of DEXs out there, but pay attention. These are some of the most promising bets for real world asset tokenization. This is a great thread talking about some of these tokens. So Paytex is the largest real world asset blockchain ecosystem in Latin America, a region with over 670 million people and a GDP of $5.5 trillion. It operates a layer 2 blockchain that streamlines the issuance and monitoring of CBDCs and other crypto. That could be a big one. And it talks about Paytex dominates real world assets. Here's the chart for Paytex. I'm going to post all this. There's also Pendle Finance. I had brought up Pendle Finance months and months ago, but they're highlighting it as their number 2 token here. Pendle is a yield tokenization protocol that allows speculation and hedging on future yields. With the creation of a novel AMM that supports assets with time decay, Pendle gives users control over future yield and providing optional, and I always do this, and providing optional and opportunities for utilization. Tickers here. There's also Dusk Foundation. Dusk is a layer 1 blockchain protocol capable of powering privacy preserving smart contracts. Try to say that fast. It's designed to provide institutional level and privacy and compliance with order to make it possible for probably anybody to trade. Here's the ticker Dusk, $205 million market cap. There's Ohm. I was actually in a space with the founders of Ohm. Really interesting people. This is a really big blockchain. I'll tell you, this is a really great asset. It is already at 825 million. I don't think this is going to go to like 5 or 10 billion. I could be totally wrong. Right now, I'm really focused on assets that I think can 50 or 100x in this market. I'm taking some really big gambles on some tokens, but if only 25% of those tokens actually work out, it could lead to millions of dollars in crypto. My portfolio goal for this bull market is 3 to 5 million, and I think I can reach that with the tokens that I've purchased and buying. I'm working on updating my token list. I gave you maybe about 35% of my tokens. It's in Alpha Sensei if you're interested. I still have to add some AI tokens and some real world asset tokens that I don't have listed there. I have to go through a bunch of other wallets, but 825 million. LTO, the LTO network is a hybrid blockchain platform with business to business functionalities. It's a layer 1 blockchain with real world assets, which has partnered with the United Nations, Dutch government, and more. Anytime you have government partnerships that are backing you. That is a huge deal you should be paying attention to. This is at $75 million market cap. Might be an opportunity here. GFI, Goldfinch, is a decentralized credit protocol targeting emerging markets. Using game theory tested initiatives, it offers crypto returns for capital providers and crypto loans to creditworthy applicants. I brought this up in Sensei Chat months and months ago, but it's good to see that it's on their top 6 list. This is at $233 million. This might be a little bit lower now from the post. Polymesh is an institutional grade permission blockchain designed for regulated assets. It addresses challenges in governance, identity, compliance, confidentiality, and settlement, enabling the creation of new financial instruments. Going to be big. This is at $428 million. And there's Hi-Fi, which is Hi-Fi Finance. It's a decentralized lending protocol in Ethereum. I am going to post this thread. I think this was very valuable if you're in the best chat ever. Thank you, Steve. I learned so much, and I hope the people that stayed and watched and listened to that chat on Friday learned a lot. Thank you, for posting that, JP. You are the best. JP, can we get a round of a hand for JP? He works really hard in the background. He does a lot of work for us, and I'm really appreciative to all the hard work he does. So big shout out to him. Breaking HBAR, Hedera, native coin to be listed on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange as an exchange-traded product, also known as an ETP. Now, you've heard Larry Fink talking about ETFs as the future. ETPs are also the future. ETPs are used more globally outside of the US. There are some ETPs in the US, but Valor, this could be really, really big. I see Vincent down here. Big shout out to Vincent. People sleeping on the transition of the new financial system. Glad unplugged in learning while investing. Big shout out to Vincent over at Xeno Mining. I was actually in Xeno Mining doing a chat on Saturday. Great group of people there. Definitely great vets. We got to support all of the vets globally. And so if you want to go show some love in the Xeno Mining community, please go do that. All right. I should have probably had this earlier, but it's ADHD and I can't help who I am. Meme traders make millions while you sleep. Ask there's a secret. This is a breakdown on how you can be a better trader. What apps? I get this question more than not is what technologies or apps can I be using to become a better trader, meme coin trader or a regular trader? And if you're not using Dex Screener or Bird Eye, you're doing it all wrong. So, obviously Dex Screener, you probably know what this is already. View token charts, monitor new pairs, track trader and bot activities. I'm also using a host of different Telegram bots that you plug in the smart contract. It tells you about the LP. It tells you if they can mint tokens. There's a lot of really good information that I've been posting in Alpha Sensei and in DGen, so be paying attention to that. Bird Eye, track large on-chain trades, view token charts, monitor profitable traders, and check new listings and alerts. Very, very good tool to use. There's also Solana FM, Solana Explorer, wallets overview, tokens info. User-friendly Solana Explorer, check tokens overview, view wallet information, balance in transactions, and get full transaction info. There's also ETH Drops bot, track your crypto, monitor any wallets, set up wallets and gas prices. Give me 1 second here. Okay. The two biggest, if you're trading meme coins right now, the places you should be doing it either on Ethereum or Solana or Base. Those are the three biggest meme coin community tokens areas. There's more liquidity on Ethereum and Solana than there is Base, but Coinbase is putting a lot of money in developing Base, and I think there's money to be made there. Trade with Phantom. This is a great sniping tool. Discover new tokens, quickly buy and sell, limit orders. This is just filled with all kinds of stuff. There's also a Trojan bot, sniper tools, limit orders, DCA orders, P&L analysis. What's really nice? Being able to do like limit orders, doing some sniping, DCA orders. This is really important, especially on a trading bot. Celio Finance, on-chain analysis and alerts, track top traders, wallets, set up advanced alerts, discover market insights. I mean, this is so helpful, guys. If you are actually spending some time and energy to try to up your game this bull market, if you're trying to really change your life, you need to be using the right set of tools. It's like trying to construct a building without having a hammer or a saw or something. You're just not going to make a really good looking building. You need the right tools in order to make a masterpiece. There's also Twitter lists, right? Alpha. organize lists into categories, monitor meme KOLs, use TweetDeck research and add interesting public lists. Twitter is making a lot of updates. There's also tweetscout.io analytics and social score. Check X accounts, social score, top followers and affiliated accounts. There's also rug check XYZ. You can definitely check rugs using this. alphascan.xyz, view tokens, sentiment analytics, narrative, popularity, KOL, leaders list, and there's BonkBot. This is the bot that cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I'm a little sour about my BonkBot, but hey, I've used it a lot. It's great. Other than it messing up that one Let's Go by. But let me post that for you. Please pay attention to that. Start using those tools and be a better trader. Breaking. XRP is a significant component of the StockX digital asset blue chip index firm under European regulations and global index by leading index provider stocks. So the reason I brought this up is that the future, if you listen to Larry Fink, the future of finance is ETFs. And I'm adding ETPs on there. You're going to have all of these different funds that have different tokens in it. If you listen to the chat we did last Friday with Lady Trader, she was putting money on that we were going to have a meme coin ETF with a bunch of different meme coins in it by the end of the year. Personally, I think it might take a little bit longer, but there are institutions that are very interested in this. Why? Because they're here to make money, and they see how much money is floating around the crypto space. They see a market that is ripe for innovation. It's ripe for, basically listing new products. And just the Bitcoin ETF, do you know how many other products they created underneath that? It's really, truly insane how much money these institutions are making on these products. So please pay attention. This is floating around. Apple officially announces partnership with OpenAI and will integrate ChatGPT into the iPhone. I know Elon Musk is not happy about this, and he was talking about boycotting Apple. We'll see what really happens. I'm a heavily Apple user, and it'd be interesting to see. I don't think Elon Musk would block any Apple either computer or device from accessing Twitter or X. I think that he would lose hundreds of millions of customers instantly. So, there's probably some massaging that needs to go on here, but this could be something big. So be paying attention. All right. We did talk about Caitlyn Jenner already. I don't really need to get into this. You know my opinion on it. I am long on this. I am going hard into this. There's exchange listings coming. I just think this is going to be good. There's also this special event. Caitlyn Jenner is holding a dinner question in Malibu, California this summer. Person knows people with millions and millions of dollars, and if some people start posting about this that have big followings, guys, it's going to be lights out. Like I'm betting hard. I'm going multiple six figures on this. Hopefully I am right, and it'll pay off. GalaSwap, create your own tokens with GalaSwap. I thought this was very interesting. This could be a new narrative, a way to make money. This is definitely going to bring money into the Gala ecosystem. Check this out. It's a minute and 6.
Creating your own token on GalaSwap. Before creating your token, be sure to review the How It Works section. Simply click on the button to the right and read through all details. Now, let's get started creating your token. First, enter the name, symbol, and other required information for your token.
And the beat is sick.
Set the max supply of your token and the max capacity. Finally, set the allocation you'd like to contribute to the burn allowance. Review the details at the bottom, including the generation fee, before moving forward. If everything looks correct, agree to the terms of service and hit Create. Enter your transfer code and your token is submitted for voting. In order for your token to be approved, it must receive passing votes from founders' node owners. You can view all polls here. If the vote for your token passes, then it will be officially created and listed on GalaSwap.
All right, funny story here. I actually, if you don't know this, if you're probably not in the community or talking to me personally, I've had a serious back pain for since November, and I finally got insurance to approve an MRI today. I went in this morning at 7 o'clock to have an MRI, and they put earplugs in, they put headphones on you, and they're like, "What kind of music do you want to listen to?" And of course, I was not thinking through this. I was like, I want to listen to some dance music, And you have to sit perfectly still in an MRI machine, and I got all of these like, and you know, I'm always fidgeting. If a beat comes on, I'm always moving, and it was painful. I had a really good laugh with the staff after I came out of the machine because they were surprised I was able to sit still. Let me refresh. All right, we should be caught up here. Marcus Ingfinger, you know, why isn't XRP pumping? I get this question a lot on my YouTube page, and it comes really down to institutions. It comes down to developers building on the platform. It comes down to liquidity. It comes down to a lot of these things. And, you know, you're really playing the long game when you're talking about XLM, XDC, XRP, Quant. You know, these assets are being looked at by central banks, institutions, banks, all over the world, right? And you know, you've seen all these partnership announcements, and I do think we're going to reach a point in time where instant payments is the norm, and part of that is you know, blockchain behind the scenes. There's actually some really cool information that I looked at for a video that I want to show you real quick. Let me just pull this up because I thought this was really interesting. So ISO, let's do it. He posted about, I think he's from India, and he posts a lot of information about UPI in India. And it's like Universal Payment Index. Let me just show this to you really quickly. I mean, this person spends all the time posting all this great information. If you're not following ISO, you should probably do that. Here it is. So India introduced instant payments, you know, a few years back, and it's been growing ever since. I want you to take a look at this chart. This is volume in the billions, okay? And credit cards were the number one. But take a look down here at UPI. This is 2016 and 17. So India's been you know, moving and shaking for a long time on instant payments. But let me play this. Okay, why do you think people like you know, the head of JP Morgan comes out and talks mad shit about crypto? Because look at the usage of this instant payment network and credit cards. Okay, they are losing market share, and if they don't adopt the technology, they are going to get left behind, right? And banks understand that. That's why JP Morgan created the Onyx blockchain, so they could tokenize assets and do all that stuff. Other smaller banks might not be able to, you know, have a full-time staff of devs to come in and build out a whole blockchain. So what are those smaller banks going to do? Well, they're going to partner with companies like Ripple, like Stellar, like, you know, Quant, and they're going to use this technology to do all kinds of really amazing things. Now, circle back to this video about what's going on. That's me, of course. Let me play this for you. It's about 2 minutes and 51 seconds, but let's listen up because I do think this is important. We're engaging with dozens of central banks, right? That's what they're interested in right now, is instant payments.
You're running quite a lot of innovative projects at Ripple. Can you explain a little bit about the direction you guys are heading?
Yes, so I talk a little bit about the XRP Ledger, which is essentially public open source blockchain that Ripple works with and is one of the, you know, core developers alongside other developers. And so that blockchain was essentially designed with sort of institutional grade financial use cases in mind. So it's very cheap to make a transaction, fraction of a cent. It's very fast, 3 to 5 seconds, and it's scalable, and it has been battle tested. It's had 2.5 billion transactions in its 11-year history, more than any other blockchain, and has never had any security breach or something alike. And so it was designed with, you know, things like payments in mind, but we see also a lot of tokenization happening, non-fungible and functional as fungible. So for example, there's real estate projects. One is called Proper Home, based in Portugal, who are building a real estate market to buy, sell, and rent property on the XRP Ledger. There's carbon credit or carbon market projects that help to basically, you know, make sure carbon credits are counted correctly and not double counted and so forth. And then there's, you know, a lot of efforts from our side for CBDCs as well. We're engaging with like 12 or dozens of central banks. 4 pilots have been publicly announced already. And so there's a lot of interest from kind of like, stable coin side as well. And so we definitely, put a lot of emphasis on sort of like this notion of institutional adoption of blockchain finance. And then on the Ripple net side of our house, we sort of help to really abstract these complexities to be able to interact, the seamless user experience, this usability that sometimes lacks if you need to plug in directly with these protocols. And so that's kind of like how we use this blockchain, for example.
And are you happy with the current, let's say, rule book? Because we talked about trust and rule book before. For now, happy, they should simply leave it for 3 years and...
I wouldn't say that's quite the truth. I mean, we have been very passionate about engaging with regulators. We have engaged with a lot of regulators. There's a lot of positive developments in places like Singapore, Japan, Brazil, the UAE, where you see really, and obviously the EU, right, with MiCA. It's maybe not, as a crypto native person, it's not perfect, but at least it's clear. Whereas in the US, which is obviously a very important market, you see this, kind of like this clarity being resolved through litigation, which I personally believe is not the most constructive.
Yeah, definitely not the way to go through litigation, but we are still early on this technology. Make no mistake, you are when you're investing in any crypto project, you are speculating, and everybody else that is trading that token is speculating with you. I think we all just look, depending on what your knowledge is in the crypto space, I think we all just look at the technology and we assume that the entire world is already using it. But we can't be further from the truth, right? We have MiCA going into effect. We have regulation, in countries all around the world going into effect over this next year and 2025. I really think you need to zoom out and understand that this is going to take time. And of course, there's people that think the U.S. dollar is collapsing, that we're going to need to reset the financial system, and that's what some of these people are banking on is a total collapse of financial markets. Now, make no mistake. Now, if there is a total collapse of financial markets, sure, something like XRP, XLM, these assets could be used to issue all of the debt or move the debt to this new system, but it would truly bankrupt, millions, if not, billions of people, right? And so it's a very sensitive balance that governments have to play with right now when it comes to crypto assets. And I think that over the next few years, you really are going to see incredible adoption. But right now, you're still speculating. And if somebody has a different opinion, I'd love to talk with you about it. It's just after 4 years of being in the crypto space, 4 years of owning XRP, I've come to realization that it's going to take time. And I'm willing to sit there and wait it out because I do think that the technology is going to be used on a massive scale. Right? I think that is the one that banks and central banks are going to want to use, and they're all going to want to use a similar system. They're not going to all use the same system. You talk about interoperability, assets moving from chain to chain. That's very important in this mix. So, anyways, that's my 2 cents. You can follow me on Twitter. I've got 31,900 followers, and like 10 people say hi. It's great. I love it. Twitter's awesome. I think somebody sent me this. I'm not in this, so don't go buy it. I think I just had it up on my screen. Somebody sent it to me, so just deep breath. I wanted to point out, Molly Elmore interviewed the CEO of Storage Chain. Why did she do that? Well, Storage Chain has a partnership with Jimmy Valley in his law firm, right? I hinted at this weeks ago. And, I know when you look at the price of Storage Chain, it's down. Right? I have no control over that. When I originally posted Storage Chain, it was back in October of 2023. It was at $109,000 market cap or something. You can go back and check. It went up to about 800K, which is about 700X from when I originally posted it. And I actually posted it and didn't buy it for 2 days, giving anybody bigger opportunity to get into that token before I did. Okay. I'm still holding about 4 million tokens in running nodes. I truly believe that once they get the marketing right on Storage Chain, that this project is going to have an incredible bull market. I still fully believe the team is capable. I've actually been working behind the scenes to get Chris in touch with Lady Trader, because this is what she does. She's incredible at marketing. They have been working on different pairs on different chains. They've been innovating. They have been building, and I still am very bullish on this. So if you haven't, I haven't yet had the time. Somebody sent this to me this morning. I haven't had the time to watch this yet. I definitely plan to do it. The person that sent this to me is definitely somebody that hangs out on my YouTube channel and watches. Oh God, I got a message from Mulciber. I hope I didn't drop something I shouldn't have. Oh, he's not even in the chat, so he doesn't know yet. Okay. There's other partnerships that they're going to announce soon that are massive. I think that if one or two of those partnerships that they're announcing, if they actually use the product, they're going to fill up all of the storage space that we've created so far with nodes. And they're going to need new node holders. And part of that is marketing to other communities. But I'm still very long on this. If storage chain goes to 10 cents, 5-10 cents, I'll have hundreds of thousands of dollars off something that I put initially in about maybe 50 grand. And I've already made most of that money back on storage chain. I took some profit along the way because that's what you're supposed to do. I know sometimes they get a little nervous when people take profit, but we're here to make money. And that's kind of like a free bet for me right now. That's the part about getting into something early, taking profit to where you're either even or you're up a little bit, and letting the dice roll, right? My risk tolerance being in crypto for 4 years is through the roof, right? I've lost tens of thousands of dollars in a day, and I've made six figures in quite a short time. If anyone remembers the 2021 bull market, how much money we were making back then, it was pretty insane. But I do think that's going to come back. So anyways, just want to give a shout out to what they're doing there, storage chain. The U.S. government is spending as if we were in a crisis. So this is something that is going to come to a head regardless of what we do. Now, I am more, I think, vocal about this, and I think, this is something that we should be, paying attention to, because you can only kick this debt can down the road for so long. U.S. government expenditures percent of GDP hits 43%, matching levels seen during the 2008 financial crisis. We have seen the stock market hit record all-time highs week after week, month after month. Eventually, this is going to go the other way. Okay. Now, I'm kind of from the home that, like, during election time, I think it can be very volatile. Usually November, December, January are really good for the crypto industry. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays. If you go watch the chat, I did it on last Friday. Lady Trader says that because of historical data, she believes that the crypto bull market is going to be alive and well until fall of 2025. So if she called the top and the bottom of the last bull market. If she's right, that means we still have about 12 or 14 months of a good market. So make sure that you're paying attention to this kind of stuff, because this stuff can affect all markets, and we don't want to be holding on to all of our crypto when the market does change. Now, I want to put this to you guys. What do you think this means? And I'll give you my opinion in a second here. Cell phone activity cell phone activity in almost every major downtown area in the US is currently below 2019 levels. In San Francisco, cell phone activity is currently at just 57% of pre-pandemic levels. In Minneapolis, cell phone activity is down 56%. Now, this could be a few different things. This could be that maybe businesses and people are not doing as well as we are led to believe, which is probably something. I've seen a lot of layoffs in some major companies, but also this could be a lot of people working from home. I think when we went through the C word, that a lot of companies realized they don't need these expensive office buildings to have all these people come in and work 5 days a week. They can do a lot of this work from home. I'm not on these boards or have these financials, so I can't really tell you the numbers of these companies and what's happening here. But I just thought this was an interesting point to talk about. I don't know what the ramifications will be for this. Are people not using cell phones? Obviously, that's not accurate. But I don't know. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts of why this is down so much. Skillful AI. Okay, let's talk about this really quickly. Did they get their listing yet? Yes, beautiful. Okay. we had Skillful. Oh, I hate self-reported market caps. We had Skillful AI in like 6 months ago for an AMA. Before they launched, I told you in Sensei Chat, I told you in Alpha Sensei, I told you in Ultra Bull that you could probably make a nice quick return on this launch. It did. It went up to 20 cents from where it launched. I don't remember the exact price it launched. It was a few cents. So I still think that this project has a long way to go. People like Alex Becker, and I've seen a few other big channels talk about it. I still think the AI narrative is very hot in crypto, and I still think Skillful AI is a good asset to hold. And I will be rooting along for these guys. I think you should be paying attention to Skillful AI. There's a few other things I want to get to before we end here today. This Uniswap villain posted another kind of thread. Is the one I showed you already, but this is a great account to follow, especially on Ethereum if you want to learn a little bit about trading. And that's the gist. That's the gist. All right. Let's talk some questions. I know maybe you guys have something you want to talk about, maybe some projects that we want to talk about as a team. Hit me with it. I'm going to stop streaming so we can have a more candid conversation inside of Cryptonairz. We've been going for about an hour and a half here. I appreciate everybody watching on YouTube. If you want to come in and join the conversation in the Discord, there's a link down in the description. You can do that absolutely free. And if you want to sign up for Cryptonairz,